Good evening. My name is Promises Huff, and I will be doing my project on interpersonal communication project for the Studies in Interpersonal Communication class at Liberty University. And the project is entitled Effective Listening Skills. Do you have them? For the agenda, the introduction, overachieving goal, background and behavioral blend, potential barriers, internal and external noise, pollution solutions, action plan, and my conclusion. Introduction. Communication is a vital factor in life regarding our everyday activities, whether the activities are business, education, recreation, spirituality, finances, relationships, and self-assurance. Communication is always present. The question is whether or not your communication is effective or non-effective. In the most general sense, the terms communication and communicating label the continuous complex collaborative process of verbal and nonverbal meaning making. In the movie Fireproof, it's a prime example of the importance of understanding communication, which stars Kirk Cameron, who plays as Caleb, who's having difficulties communicating with his wife Catherine. Caleb starts out as being an unresponsive and passive husband, while Catherine plays the impatient and nagging wife who invites outsiders in her marriage that almost led to destruction, but was saved by the Love Dare challenge given to Caleb by his father. In the end, Catherine realizes that two wrongs don't make a right, and they both allow God to consecrate their marriage again. Listening. Do we actually listen to others? Personally, I don't believe that. On my behalf and my experience of listening to others, I would honestly be thinking of my grocery list, my children's practice schedules, and what time I need to pick them up. Listening as a method of taking in information is used far more than reading and writing combined. It is the channel used most often for learning. Ironically, it is the least understood function of all. Listening is a learned skill. There are 20 basic listening skills, techniques, but to name a few: acknowledge, own your own feelings, admit ignorance, hem and haw, lead the witness, and explore the future. Overachieving goals. My overachieving goals are to 1. Continue to be a level 1 listener. 2. Play more of the detective role. 3. Learn to interrupt. 4. Admit ignorance. And 5. Learn to lead the witness. Background and behavioral blend. There are many generalizations and broad descriptions which often get lost in the volumes of initials and adjectives. Once people identify their specific personality types, which are D, I, S, and C, they can focus on their individual needs to adapt to the many predictable patterns of behavior. Now, as far as my behavioral blend, I was personally an S-type personality, which I think people expect you to be more sensitive and submissive. I like blending in the crowd because I feel that others want me to still be quiet. I can be a very loyal and friendly person on an individual basis. I act like people want me to be more withdrawn and reserved in public, which I am. I often think I need to serve humanity and do what I'm told, rather than challenge others and do what I want to do. My humble spirit and quiet demeanor makes me well liked. I'm not very outwardly friendly, but I have many friends. People like me because I'm not overbearing or confrontational. I think others want me to be pleasing and easygoing. As an S-type personality, I respond best to people who believe in me. Though I tend to be not as confident in myself, I can be very motivated when others believe in me. I'm very sacrificial and sometimes have blind loyalty. As for my strengths and uniquenesses, people respect my loyalty and encouragement. I often overuse my willingness to help others and end up abusing myself. I sacrifice my health and private for family times for the sake of others, and sometimes I hold on to things until I finally explode. Some people emotionally abuse me until I can't take it any longer, and I respond irrationally. Potential barriers. As for me, my potential barrier, I believe, is reception, and that's the aspect that deals with the way the mind interprets or how it's received. As an example, my husband. My husband is one who uses a stern voice, and whenever he talks, I tend to take it the wrong way. When he actually means something sweet, I may find that it may sound a little harsh, simply because he uses a stern voice. Internal and external noise pollution solutions. External noise pollution are outside factors that affect an individual's effective listening skills. Some examples are cell phones, airplanes, and simply just children making noise, as my four do. Internal noise pollutions are inside factors that affect an individual's effective listening, and some of those examples are stress and just having fear. Solutions to both external and internal noise pollution vary according to circumstances within personal controls. For example, placing your cell phone on silent, not vibrate, during instruction or conversation. But for circumstances not within personal controls, an individual must learn to be patient and wait until a reasonable moment presents itself to listen more effectively. Action plan. My personal action plan consists of number 1, hem and haw, number 2, admit ignorance, and number 3, actively listen. In conclusion, I honestly believe that communication is a big role in your active daily living. Everybody needs to communicate because it's just that important. When you don't communicate, you're forced to actually just think whatever, do whatever. So when you know better, you should do better. And I thank you very much for taking your time and your patience to listen to my project and watch my project on this video, and do have a blessed evening.